Hi, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. Glad to be back with you today. I have a new story. It's called The Great Kapok Tree, a tale of the Amazon Rainforest. Here is the picture. This book has been used a lot and it's not in very good shape. I'm still going to read it. It's a reading rainbow book. Tropical rainforests of the world. And so that would be, I'll show you some of them. So these green parts, there aren't tons of them. Here we are in South America, Central America. There's a little bit actually in North America too. They're not hot ones though. And over here we see Asia, and they have quite a few little islands that are tropical rainforests. New Guinea is, and they have all sorts of interesting animals. I'll just show you some of the pictures. Maybe you've seen some of these ones before. And I'll try to go up here. See how this one goes. Sloth. I'll open this side up again. Lots of animals that live in the rainforest. And we're going to learn more about it today. I like learning new things. Two men walked into the rainforest. Moments before, the forest had been alive with the sounds of squawking birds and howling monkeys. Now all was quiet as the creatures watched the two men and wondered why they had come. The larger man stopped and pointed to a great Kapok tree, and then he left. The sun is shining very brightly here. Here's the tree. It is a very large tree, isn't it? The Kapok tree. The smaller man took the axe he carried and struck the trunk of the tree. Whack, whack, whack. The sound of the blows rang through the forest. The wood of the tree was very hard. Chop, chop, chop. The man wiped the sweat that ran down his face and neck. Whack, chop, whack, chop. Soon the man grew tired. He sat down to rest at the foot of the great Kapok tree. Before he knew it, the heat and hum of the forest had lulled him to sleep. That was a very large tree. A boa constrictor lived in the Kapok tree. He slithered down the trunk to where the man was sleeping. He looked at the gash the axe had made in the tree. Then the huge snake slid very close to the man and hissed in his ear, "Señor, this tree is a tree of miracles. It is my home, where generations of my ancestors have lived. Do not chop it down." Do not chop it down. A troop of, a bee buzzed in the sleeping man's ear. "Señor, my hive is in this Kapok tree, and I fly from tree to tree and flower to flower collecting pollen. In this way I pollinate the trees and flowers throughout the rainforest. You see, all living things depend on me." And here's, again, beautiful pictures. And can you see the little flies? Right there, they're whispering to the man, but there's many other type of pollinators. Butterflies and moths of all sorts. A troop, that is a group, of monkeys scampered down from the canopy of the kapok tree. They chattered to the sleeping man, "Senor, we have seen the ways of man. You chop down one tree, then you come back for another and another. The roots of these great trees will wither and die, and there will be nothing left to hold the earth in place." They mean the dirt. When the heavy rains come, the soil will be washed away and the forest will become a desert. And that's what they were telling him. They didn't want that forest to become a desert. I wouldn't either. When rain washes away the soil, that's called erosion. A toucan, and that's this bird right here. A toucan, a macaw. Let's see. I don't know. I guess that's a macaw. And a cock of the rock flew down from the canopy. "Senor," squawked the toucan, "you must not cut down this tree. We have flown over the rainforest and seen what happens when you begin to chop down trees. Many people settle the land. They set fires to clear the underbrush, and soon the forest disappears. Where there was once life and beauty, only black and smoldering ruins remain." A bright and small tree frog crawled along the leaf of the edge of a leaf. In a squeaky voice, he piped in the man's ear, "Senor, a ruined rainforest means ruined lives, many ruined lives. You will leave us homeless if you chop down this great kapok tree." A jaguar, do you know what that is? I'll show you. A jaguar had been sleeping along the branch in the middle of the tree. Because his spotted coat blended into the dappled light and shadows of the understory, no one had noticed him. Now he leapt down and padded silently over to the sleeping man. He growled in his ear, "Senor, the kapok tree is home to many birds and animals. If you cut it down, where will I find my dinner?" Four tree porcupines swung down from branch to branch. They have a special type of tail I want to show you. You see that? That tail helps them hold on to the branch. "Senor, do you know what we animals and humans need in order to live? Oxygen. And senor," that means sir, "do you know what produces oxygen? Trees. If you cut down the forest, you will destroy that gives us all life." Several anteaters climbed down the kapok tree with their young on their backs. The unstriped anteater said to the sleeping man, "Senor, you are chopping down this tree with no thought for the future. And surely you know that what happens tomorrow depends on what you do today. The big man tells you to chop down a beautiful tree. He does not think of our children, who tomorrow must live in a world without trees." That would be sad. A three-toed sloth had begun climbing down from the canopy when the man first appeared. Only now did she reach the ground. There she is right there. Plodding ever so slowly over to the sleeping man, She spoke in her deep and lazy voice, "Señor, how much is beauty worth? Can you live without it? If you destroy the beauty of the rainforest, on what will you feast your eyes?" A child from the Neomono tribe who lived in the forest knelt over the sleeping man. He murmured in his ears, "Señor, when you awake, please look upon all of us with new eyes." And there's the boy talking to him. And there's so many animals there. Kind of a big book. He lives in that rainforest in the Amazon. The man awoke with a start. Before him stood the rainforest child, and all around him staring were the creatures that depended on the great kapok tree. What wondrous and rare animals they were. And I'll show you some of them right here. Wow. And there's even more on this page. The man looked about and saw the sun streaming through the canopy. That's the canopy of leaves. Spots of bright lights glowed like jewels amidst the dark green forest. Strange and beautiful plants seemed to dangle in the air and suspended from the great kapok tree. The man smelled the fragrant perfume of their flowers. He felt the steamy mist rising from the forest floor, but he heard no sound, for the creatures were strangely silent. There he is. He saw many interesting things, didn't he? Look on this side, some more of the interesting plants. I never saw one like that. The man stood and picked up his axe. He swung back his arm as though to strike the tree. Suddenly he stopped. He turned and he looked at the animals and he looked at the child. He hesitated. Then he dropped the axe and he walked out of the rainforest. Well, I guess he listened to all those animals. And it's important for us to try to save trees. Now, I believe we can also cut down some trees, but in the rainforest, like in Amazon, they will cut down every tree in a big area. And then the animals have no place to go. And then they will burn them. What's left, and they'll make charcoal. Charcoal's good for things, but it's really nice to have the rainforest, to have that oxygen and all those animals. Well, this story was written by Lynn Cherry, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back again tomorrow and reading another story. Tomorrow will be a Bible story, and then a different type of story, just like today. It's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. I want to pray blessings on you and yours, in your house and out of your house, in the day and the night. Whatever you do, keep dreaming, keep a story in your heart. All right, bye-bye.